Red here. I know it's been a while since I've posted any actual real good content, and I'm sorry. I've been working real hard, and I've got my own stuff going on. But today I wanted to go over go bags or assault packs. Now this is different than say a bug out bag or a bob. A bug out bag is more for like you know, the entire world is coming apart. You know, you are either at work or at your home, and you're trying to escape. Okay, you can be escaping to someone else's house. You can be escaping to you know, your backcountry retreat or whatever. But this is actually set up for if you know, whether it's your own personal crap hits the fan, or you know, a friend calls you, he needs help, something like that. And you are going to an area to lay some hate, or you know, extract somebody, something like that. So first thing I will go over real quick is caches before I get to the actual go bags or assault packs. I know a lot of folks, when they think caches, they think you know, 55-gallon drum buried in the ground or whatever. But you know, something just as small as this. This is just a small tackle box. And if you open it, it's full of medical supplies. It's also got some water treatment tablets, multi-tool and spoon. It's like I said, medical supplies. There's also some ammunition in here, electrical tape, just stuff like that. And this is something that you could, you know, leave at a friend's house, leave at a family member's house, you know, leave in a vehicle. And this looks like, you know, fishing equipment. And you know, not something that would necessarily be taken seriously if someone was, you know, just going through a house trying to find, you know, valuables and stuff like that. They're going to see this, and they're going to be like, oh, there's not going to be much in there. But you could just have little caches like this everywhere. Something like this you can actually put together with medical supplies and ammunition for under $50. You know, you can make 5, 10, you know, 15 of them, spread them out all over the place. And that way it actually reduces the amount of resources and materials you actually have to tote around on your back if you're just going from one location to another, just picking up your stuff. Okay, you can also put, you know, power bars in something like this. You know, put a bottle of water in there, just whatever, stuff like that. So let's get to the actual go bag or assault pack. So we're going to start on the exterior. This right here is just a patrol pack that the U.S. Army used to use back in Iraq and Afghanistan, back before they made the better decision to not only upgrade the packs, but also upgrade the camo pattern. This one's obviously been beat around and abused a little bit. It's a more of a tan color now instead of grandma's couch. But you can score these at military surplus places for relatively inexpensively, usually under $50. On the exterior, I have an IFAK. Now this IFAK can be used for myself or anybody else. Of course, it does have some trauma shears on it. I do have on here that I am A negative. I also have an actual full-sized, full-tang combat knife. This one in particular is made by Cold Steel. This is one of my favorite knives. You know, but that can be something used for skinning as well as you know, taking care of sentries or you know, cutting flex cuffs and stuff like that. There's all kinds of reasons why you'd want a large, good-sized fighting knife like this on your go bag. I've also got some extra pistol magazines for my Glock. Of course, I'll be carrying my Glock on me, as well as extra ammunition on me. But it's always nice to have extra ammunition for your primary and your secondary weapons actually on your pack itself. On the other side here, I have a small folder. This is something I can just take out and put in my pocket. This one actually also has a serrated blade as well. So just for cutting through cordage and stuff like that. And on this side, just for redundancy's sake, I do have A negative, no known allergies on my little admin pouch here. That's just for no matter which way I'm laying on the ground, people can tell what my blood type is. They don't have to sit there and explore. If I'm unconscious, they don't have to try to wake me up and ask. And like I said, this is just my little admin pouch. I've got all kinds of stuff going on here. You open it up. I've got pencils in here. I've got some extra paper in here. You open up the big one. I do have this little carabiner on here just for retention so it doesn't open itself up. And I've got earplugs. I've got knife sharpeners. I've got rim oil. I've got a signal mirror in here. And I've got these are all attached together, but this is a spoon multi-tool for eating, obviously. I've got a P51, which is a large P38. It's a military can opener. And I also have a loading spoon for loading AR-15 mags with stripper clips. And then I also have some Altoids containers here, and these are kept together with what I call, or what's called Ranger bands, which is just bicycle inner tube cut into bands. So like big rubber bands. If you open it up, I've got my little fire kit here in this one. I'll put that back together here. And in this one is grease. And the reason why I have a whole container of grease like this is just for greasing my weapons. You know, motor oil is fine for like range use, or you know, frog oil and all that other stuff is all great for range use, but when you're actually just kind of mag dumping and dumping as many rounds as possible, a lot of times that oil just kind of evaporates. So putting grease on there, that definitely helps a lot with ensuring that your weapon stays lubricated. It doesn't start jamming up on you. So all that is just high temp bearing grease from a part store. So let's open this up. We'll start with the very first pouch. And in here I have an extra radio. Now I do carry a Baofeng radio on my kit. But just for whatever reason, if I can't manage to grab my body armor or something like that, I do have another Baofeng here. Also, it's great for redundancy. If something happens to the radio on my kit, I can still pull this one out. I keep this one with the battery outside of it for two reasons. A, just in case that there's something wrong with this particular radio, it doesn't suck the power out of it. And two, just in case, for whatever reason, if there's like an EMP or something like that, it's just less likely to harm it if the battery itself is taken out. So that's all that's going on in my first little pouch here. Bring that back in. It's also recommended, of course, that if you are going to be carrying redundant radios with you, to have them pre-programmed. For those of you that don't know too much about the Baofeng radio system, you basically can have a whole bunch of pre-programmed channels for you and your group to talk to. It's also recommended, of course, that you do not actually have the radio set on the particular channel that you and your group use the most. And that's just so that if, for whatever reason, if your pack is compromised or the radio off of your body armor is compromised or something like that, the enemy isn't just going to open it up and go, okay, this is the channel that they're using. So the next pouch that we're going to open up, first thing first, is land navigation. Now I don't have ranger beads on this pack. It's just because I'm actually pretty well acquainted with the area that I live in. I've been here for the last 8 or 9 years or so. I go walking around quite a bit, driving around quite a bit. I'm pretty familiar with my area, pretty familiar with the distance and stuff like that. It'd be simple for me just to throw some ranger beads on here, but I just haven't done that yet. But this is a map of all the Texas roadways, major roadways, and then this is just a simple aesthetic compass. The reason why I don't have it attached to the exterior of my pack is just because chances are I'm probably not going to be using it too much. But then again, it's also right there, easy to grab. Now also in this pocket, I have an extra magazine for my AR-10, as well as an entire bag of different ammunition types for 308. So I've got subsonic 308 in here. I've got some more spicy 308. I've got some tracers in here, and I've also just got some cheap target brass. This is just so, you know, I have something like this in my pickup, and I stop at a buddy's house, and I decide I want to target practice over there. You know, I could burn up just my cheap steel case, and it's no big deal. So, all in all, there's probably about 200 rounds here. But that's what's in that second pouch there. We're about to open up the largest pouch. Sorry, I'm trying not to make this video too long. I know the attention spans are about as long as my 7-year-old daughter's. All right. So opening up the largest compartment. You know, and y'all, this is going to be different for all y'all. For some, you're going to want to set your stuff up just a little bit differently. I just have a bottle of water in here right now. That's going to be changed. The problem is with caching all your stuff or caching all your stuff everywhere, and sometimes you lose 100% track of where everything is. But I have several 1-quart canteens, and whenever I track one of those down, one of those will actually go on my go bag. Right now I just have a bottle of water. One thing you'll notice is that if you're in kind of, whether it's a grand scale shit is the fan or a personal shit is the fan, and your adrenaline's going and stuff like that, you're not going to be as hungry as you normally are, but you're going to become extremely thirsty. You're always going to be thirsty. You're always going to want to hydrate. And plus, when you're on the move and stuff like that, it's going to be important to be hydrated anyways. You can go for a month without eating, but you can only go for a couple days, if not less, without water. So water is important. Right here, just because of my own philosophy of use, the bad guys that I may have to go up against, sometimes they like to tear gas people. So obviously I have a beard. Now, having a beard and using a gas mask, it's not as impossible as a lot of folks think. You can just take some Vaseline, which I have some, and you just smear that all over your beard, and then you put this over it, and that Vaseline is going to help seal. Okay, but in mine I have a gas mask. If you're not so worried about bad guys with tear gas, then you could do some, other stuff. Like, for example, if I did not have this, I would probably just put this wool blanket inside there. All right. Next thing here is I have basically what I call my personals. In here I have just my one piece of recreation, which is a deck of cards. I have some wet wipes in here. And wet wipes are great for just taking, hand showers out in the field and also just making sure your butthole's clean. Extra change of socks. Got some personal meds, pain meds, stuff like that. I've got my water kit here. And in my water kit, I've got a Sawyer filter. And I also have some literature on filtering water. I also have some water filtration tablets. A lot of times it's great just to kind of do both, just to make sure. The Sawyer filter will obviously take out all the particulates, but then the actual water treatment, that's going to kill anything viral, bacterial. Some 550 cord. I think this is probably about 200 feet or so. That's excellent. For those of y'all that don't want to have black or green or OD green or anything like that, you can put orange, yellow, anything like that. And that's great for is if, for example, if you're in a large group and you're kind of walking around, you can mark your bag with, say, some yellow paracord, and then it's just real easy for you to identify whenever they're all just sitting on the ground. You can walk up and go, oh, that one's mine. You can grab it. Whereas if everybody has black or OD green paracord, it's kind of difficult to kind of personalize your bags from the outside to where you can see which one is yours from a distance. I have the U.S. military's gift to mankind, the MRE. Now, one thing I do want to talk about the MRE on is these were designed to feed an American soldier, military personnel, Marine, whatever, in the field all day. Okay? Now, someone in the field might have one or two of these. These can be anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 calories a piece. High protein. So the thing of these is, I've heard a lot of people that, they'll have bunkers or whatever, or they're planning on fortifying their homes, and they say, oh man, I've got cases upon cases of MREs, I'm going to live off them. Well, you may keep in mind that these turn into rocks in your stomach, okay, and in your intestines. You can talk to any veteran, and every single one of them will tell you, if you eat an MRE, it turns into a brick, okay? And if you're not moving around, and if you're not staying active, these can actually cause a breakage in your intestines and can really mess you up. You can actually kill you. So, just because it says meal ready to eat does not mean that, you need to have 3 or 4 of these a day, especially if you're just sitting around. I've also got camo net in here. Obviously, if my philosophy of use, it's going to be run, shoot, hide. This comes into the hide part, so if I'm trying to hide in a bush or a tree or in a ditch or something like that, I can use this to try to camouflage my position. And then also one of the most important things, I have my Gore-Tex in here. A lot of y'all might want to put a poncho liner, or excuse me, a poncho in there instead of Gore-Tex. My philosophy of use, again, is run, shoot, and hide. So those of y'all might be doing more hiding, you might want to use the poncho liner because y'all can make shelters and stuff out of those extremely easily. But that right there is my go bag. If y'all have any questions or concerns, just go ahead and drop them in the comments. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family on social media. Thank you.